I nearly forgot this to sing this Johny Cash hymn. So we'll rise to the occasion. Johny Cash and his lovely wife Joan Carter Cash sang at many concerts in the United States, and everyone enjoyed him. And Joan was very talented; she could write music and lyrics. And Johnny visited Ireland many times because his family originated from here, and he was very fond of the country. And he wrote and sang 40 Shades of Green, and we enjoyed his singing at the events that he sang at, and we were there at them, and we enjoyed them. Yeah, and he sang many Irish songs and other ones. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they nailed him to the cross? Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they took him down from the cross? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the stone was rolled away? Well, you weren't, because the soldiers were there. And and that big stone blocking the tomb was rolled away by the forces from heaven. They got a tremendous fright and went as white as sheets and ran like jackrabbits, afraid of their shadow. And Kuipers come across and said, "What's wrong with you? We paid to guard the tomb. Go back and guard that tomb." Well, no, we're not going to do that. That big stone that was blocking the tomb was rolled away by forces from heaven. You go back, Kuipers, and guard the tomb and your cronies. Well, no, we won't do that, says Kuipers. So you're cowards, is that right? You expect everybody else to do it when you do nothing yourselves. We'll reward you now for your trouble with the 30 pieces of silver. But we know all about it because you can't hide the truth. We know all about it. So Mary Matilda and some ladies was going on Easter Sunday morning to anoint her Saviour in the tomb, a custom of the Jewish people. And they were saying, how are we going to move that stone away? We won't be able to do it. I wonder will the soldiers help us? And somebody said, are you joking? They wouldn't do a hand's turn for you. They're as ignorant as they're so ignorant. They're as thick as double digits. You wouldn't ask them to do anything. Anyways, as they come near the tomb, they saw the stone was moved away, and no sign of these soldiers. Thanks be to God, says they're gone, those bowsies. Up to no good. Wonder what happened to them. So Mary went into the tomb and came out crying. She said, his clothes is there, but he's not there. Where have they taken him? The woman was crying, say, yeah, where have they taken him so we can bring him back? And there was a man there looked like a gardener. But it was Jesus. And he said to Mary, Mary. She looked around, happy as Larry. Go and tell the apostles what you're after saying. I certainly will, says Mary, and we'll go too, says the ladies. Well, they were all delighted with themselves, whistling and singing. It's a long way to Tipperary. No, not that one. They were singing something else. And in the meantime, there was two men, two disciples, going from Jerusalem to Emmaus, a little village 6 miles away. They were as sad as you like. They couldn't talk nearly. Their faces were nearly down to the ground. Oh, sad as you like. And you know what they're going to tell you? They couldn't get over it. And a stranger joined them. And he says, "What's wrong with you? Did you see a ghost?" "No, we saw no ghost." "Are you the only one that doesn't know what happened?" "What happened?" says the stranger. "Our Saviour Jesus was crucified a terrible death. He was the way, the truth, and the life, and we don't know what to do now. Who's going to help us?" So the stranger walked along the road with them and quoted experts out of the Bible and all the rest of it, and their mood lifted. Suddenly began kind of smiling, but they didn't want to smile too much. They felt like whistling, but they didn't do it any. They said, "That's so," they say now and again. Just keeping the. Oh, that's marvellous what you're after saying there. And they enjoyed the stranger's conversation. And then it was getting dark, and the stranger was about to go on. And they said, "Hold on over that. It's getting late. Come and join us, have a bite to eat, stay the night, and then continue your journey in the morning." How was about that? "Very good," he says. "Well, you'll go with us anyways. Thanks very much for your invite." Off they went, and they were tucking into their food, licking their chops, licking their lips. That was lovely, but at the breaking of the bread, they recognised Jesus, and he disappeared. Well, we called him Jack and Joe. Well, what did you make of that? Didn't our mood lift when this stranger joined us? It was Jesus. We were blessed. Well, we can't keep it to ourselves. We'll have to go. We'll have to traipse back now to Jerusalem, and we could sleep standing up like a horse, but we're too. We can't keep this good news to ourselves. No, sorry. So off they went, singing and whistling, and moonlight night. Ah, you right there, Michael, you right. No, it wasn't that one. They were singing other ones. And they said, "We'll have a hard job when we get to the Jerusalem and rattle on that upper door. They're afraid that they're leaving the Jews in case they come in and murder them. So they have them all locked and bolted. We'll have to do a queer bit of rattling on that door." So when they got there, they did give a good rattle, and they shouted, "It's Jack and Joe here with the bear of good news. Open the door there with that." Eventually the door was open, and be goodness, their hands were nearly sore from banging. And we've good news this day. When the door was open, up the stairs they went like a shot, and told them the good news. But did they believe them? Did they believe Mary Magdalene and the ladies? They didn't, their had. And Jesus remonstrated later with them when he appeared to him. He says, "I sent you messengers, you didn't believe them. What were you suffering from?" "Oh, we're sorry," they said. "Forgive us. Peter and John went to the tomb and saw you weren't there either. And John felt that you had risen from the dead, but now we're delighted to see you. Forgive us for being like that." I mean, they did tell us, and we should have believed them. So Jesus was satisfied with that. But then Thomas wasn't there, and he wouldn't believe when the apostle told him the good news, unless he could touch the wounds inflicted on our Jesus on the cross of Calvary. And he was there 8 days later when Jesus appeared again, and he says to Thomas, "Put your hands here," point to his wounds. And Thomas did, and be goodness, fell to his knees, saying, "My Lord, my God, I'm ashamed of my life." And Jesus looked kindly at him and said, "You believe, Thomas, because you've seen. Blessed are those that haven't seen and yet believe." And that's Catholics down the centuries to the present day to believe. And shed many a tear when we contemplate the passion and death of our Saviour on the cross. I'll be doing that this evening, the station of the cross. There you are. Bye now. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I nearly forgot that, you see. Bye now.